I used to not believe in vampires, but after an encounter in Perth, Australia, I am not so sure.
Oh, what happened there?
I was in the Navy and on a Westpac cruise in 1984. One of our port calls was in Perth, Australia. Beautiful place, great people, and at least back then, Americans were popular. There was also a goth craze going on among the younger people. The first night in port, the city threw a party for us in a large warehouse on the docks. Unless you had duty, you had to be there. It was December, close to Christmas, so it was summer down under, and the uniform for the party was the summer casual dress, which was 46 and below, black slacks, short-sleeved white shirt, and ribbons. You probably remember it well.
I do.
It made a strange sight, young sailors in their uniforms among many of the local youths and goths. I was standing in the middle of the warehouse, not engaged in conversation or dancing, when I had a strange urge to look towards the entrance. So I stood there for what seemed a few minutes looking at the door and wondering why. I was about to look away when two young ladies walked in and grabbed my attention. They were in goth with very white skin. I watched them make their way through the room. Couldn't really take my eyes off of them. And I realized if they kept their present course, they would pass close to me. As they got closer, I noticed their pale skin was very white, like the color of a channel catfish belly. When they got close, I noticed their eyes were normal. Then one of them seemed to make a point of brushing against me. I have never felt anyone so cold. She was so cold, I wondered how she could be alive. The phrase cold as ice came to mind. She was probably at least 15 degrees cooler than the room temperature. And the skin was actually that pale. There was no powder transfer when she rubbed against me. After she passed, I turned to look at her departing. She turned her head and looked back at me and smiled, and there was a sudden feeling in my head that gave way to the thoughts, I know you know, but who'd believe you? Then she turned her head away and continued through the room with a friend. I checked with the chief corpsman the next day, and he told me no one came to sick bay with anything unusual. And the chief master at arms said no one was away, so we had no victims. As I said, I used to not believe in vampires. But after that encounter, I can't swear to it.
Stephen, great story. Great story indeed.